So I wanted to shoot a quick video today covering a few things, unexpected items that mountain men had access to during the Rocky Mountain fur trade. Just go to the archive here, and then they've got a whole page here with links to fur trade business records. So there's some unexpected things here that can teach us more about their lives. So let's go ahead and get started with the list. All right, so number 5 on the list comes from the 1835 invoice that went on steamboat for the Upper Missouri. This did go to a fort, so it wasn't like it was going to rendezvous or anything like that. But as we scroll down here, one of the things that stood out to me, at least, is that we had 4 dozen Lucifer matches. So Google search told me that matches were invented in 1826 in Europe. And so, interestingly, by 1835, not even 10 years later, they're already finding their way out to the American frontier. So, something interesting to think about there. So number 4 on the list comes from the 1835 invoice to the Upper Missouri. And when I saw this one, it just kind of stood out. It shouldn't have surprised me, but it kind of did that they took one violin bow up the river with them. That doesn't mean that it was a trapper's. It just means that somebody maybe at the fort was playing the fiddle and needed a new bow. So number 4, a violin bow. Number 3 on the list comes from 1836. Invoice of goods to the Rocky Mountain outfit. And if you look here, right beneath the 25 calico shirts and the 10 boxes of percussion caps, you're going to see that they brought out 7 Masonic swords. Which there's other swords on some of these invoices, but you look at images of these Masonic swords, and it's just interesting, and you wonder if they were used by the trappers, maybe, if they were trading the native people, and just where these swords fit in. But they did make the trip in 1836. Now, number 2 on the list really surprised me. Again, it's found on the 1836 list on the invoice here. And as you scroll down here, you'll eventually get to something that I found pretty interesting. And that was 1 quire of sandpaper. Wouldn't have expected that. Could see probably a lot of uses for it. And this was listed with files and rasps and wood screws and augers and all that. But just wouldn't have guessed that sandpaper had found its way out to the Rocky Mountain fur trade. And so what I would say maybe the most unexpected item that I found after reviewing these business records comes from the Fort Hall accounts here in this inventory right here. In 1834 at Fort Hall, they reported having 5 pairs of Indian rubber shoes. And a little bit of research on that got to the New England Historical Society's webpage. And they talked about how in the 1820s and 30s, rubber shoes got to be pretty popular. And so I found this image here. I don't know if this is the style they took out to Fort Hall. If somebody does know information, please include it in the comments below. But just found it interesting that in 1834 you had the possibility of trappers wearing basically rubber overshoes. So I hope you enjoyed my list of 5 unexpected items that were available during the fur trade. And I hope you spend a little bit of time on this website looking through these inventories accounts and invoices and just seeing what the trappers had access to. Give you a more clear picture of what their lives were like and a better understanding of the time period. And if you're interested in the time period, hope you take some time to go to my blog, frontierlife.net. I've got lots of primary sources on all things, American frontier. Also got some books for sale. My Jimmy Fletcher series is out now. that follows a mountain man through the American West. And hopefully you would enjoy those. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and thanks for stopping by.